Welcome back everybody to the next video in our intermediate and advanced Civil 3D training series. We're going to continue on with the transparent commands, and in this short video we're going to focus on the point related transparent commands having to do with survey points, able to zoom to points, specify stations and offsets, and point locations within your drawing. This can be very handy if you're trying to track down a point or connect a bunch of points together. The survey database, you can set it up to do this for you, but sometimes we don't have time for that and we just want to do it quickly on the fly. So taking a look at the point related commands, the very first one is we can specify a point location using a point number. So we can connect a bunch of points together with a point number. And we will run that command first. I'm going to start with, we'll make a 3D polyline. And you can use the 3D polyline for a break line afterwards. You can turn it into a feature line. You can specify offsets for your corridor, targets for that, etc. Now, starting the 3D polyline command, I'm going to then access the point number command. Now, the point numbers I have in my drawing are quite large. They're in the 18,000 range. So say I want to connect these 5 points together. I could do this manually clicking, but manually clicking with the node snap, you do have a chance of missing it, can cause you issues. So I'm going to type in 18,935, and then it asks me for the next one. We'll go 18,860, and it connects the two together, 19,167, 19,237, 19,080, and then finally we can hit escape and close this command. Now if we look at this 3D polyline, we see that it has picked up elevations from the points. So this is a representation. We can pull information out of points and put it in a 3D polyline without using the node snap. Another good thing with this command is if our numbers are sequential. So I'm going to run the 3D poly command again. Now on this kind of a surface, this might not be a good idea to run it. I don't know where the points are, the numbers that are being gathered, but this will also work on a range of stations. So if I go 18,935 to, we'll go 19,080, we're going to hit enter. And it's going to connect all the points in order sequentially. And as we see, this is not the best idea for a survey of this kind. So I'm going to just take a quick look at my properties, and I'm going to go point 1, look at point 2, back to 3, back to 4, 5, 6, 7, and we see it jumps all over the place as it goes back and forth and locates these point numbers for us. Now this will be a lot more handy when if your surveyor has actually picked up points in order. They walk down the edge of the road picking up edge of curb point number 1, edge of curb point number 2, edge of curb point number 3 as they progress down the road. Now this doesn't work if they go edge of curb, center line, other edge of curb, and then zigzag back and forth across the road. However, we do have a handy way of connecting those points together, as long as they are in a sequential order. I'm just going to hit escape to cancel the command, and we're going to take a look at the second button here. Specify a point location using a point name. Now, if your points are named, this is handy, this is useful. When I inserted these points, they didn't get named, so I've created a couple names that are just P1, P2, P3. So I'm going to start my polyline command again, and I'm going to run the point name command. Now I have P1 to P6 in my drawing. I don't have a clue where they are, but I can start typing. So if I want to connect point 1, oh, there it is right in the middle of my screen. Connect to point 2, connect to point 3, point 4, point 5, and finally point 6. So if your points are named, we can utilize that as well. A really useful command, again, if your points are named. Taking a look at the next button, specify a point location by picking an existing Kogo point. And again, we can do the 3D polyline, or we could do a feature line. We could draw an alignment along these points, really any command. We can connect points together with pipes. We can utilize our utilities inside of this. So it says specify start point of polyline. I'm going to click the point object command. And then I'm going to zoom in. And again, we could always do this with nodes. The node OSnap, just draw a polyline. You do have a chance of missing it. With this command, we can click anywhere on the point itself. So I'm going to select this point, select the next point, and click whatever points I want to connect. And I could use my either crossing selection window set, selecting the point itself. However, when you do select a large number of points, the one you get seems to be pretty random. So it doesn't always select the lower left one. It doesn't always select the upper right one. And in this case, it does seem to be, maybe it does always select the lower left one. No, that one selected the bottom right one. Maybe I'm not sure how it deciphers. However, I would not go through and select points with just a window like that. The next handy command is zoom to point. So say you contact your surveyor and they're like, oh yeah, point 20,099. I need you to take a look at that. It seems to be a low point on the surface. By all means, we could go through our tool space, scroll down to wherever 20,099 is, right click and zoom to. So we could do that, and I know I didn't select 20,099, but it takes a bit of time. It would take a good minute maybe to go through this list here. Now sometimes we have to regen all for this next command to work, but I can type REA. I can select zoom to point and type in 20,099, and it will zoom me right to that point location. Doesn't matter where in the surface it is, where in the point file it is. And as we saw from the earlier command, the point numbers in this file are non-sequential. They are all over the place. It would be difficult to track one singular point down. The final button within the points category that we're going to look at is the station offset. Now we need an alignment for this next command to work. This could be useful for generating your ditch line or any targets for a corridor itself, a bottom of a retaining wall, bottom of ditch, any number of objects, a fence line even, if we know how far the fences are off the alignment. So again, any command, polyline, line, feature line, even utilities. We can specify utilities based on stations offsets. I'm going to just use a simple polyline here, and I'm going to run the station offset command. So I'll select that, I'll select my alignment, and we have a graphical station picker here. So if we wanted to match an existing utility location, so if we knew where a manhole was, we could select the station and offset based on the manhole if we wanted to connect to that. We can also type in the station we want. So say I wanted station 400, and we have a graphical display as well. If I want to go to the left of my alignment, it's negative numbers. If I want to go to the right of my alignment, it's positive numbers. So say I wanted to go minus 46.5 to the left. Then nothing pops up on the screen yet. Then we have to run the next station. So say we have around 550 is our station, and this time we're going 50.3 on the right hand side. So this should create a line that runs across the road. And it doesn't look like it did. So let's try and go back to 400 and minus 35.4. It says nothing selected. Alright, it looks like there's just a little bug in the command. If I start it again and run the station offset, I'll select my alignment, station 400, minus 35.6, then we get a graphical display on the screen where the point was being created. And if I go back over here to 500 and go 50.3, it does then connect those lines together. We can go then 600 with the offset of, we'll say 25, back to 700 with an offset of 300. So we can graphically go along the alignment, and we can sketch, say, an existing creek even, if we know stations and offsets, pipelines, utility locations, and we don't have to rely on trying to locate those with additional line work. If we know the station and we know the offset, those are easy enough to place in. So that was just a quick video on the point related options in our transparent commands.